Good morning, everyone. In this week's Torah portion, Judah steps forward to the viceroy of Egypt, who has now decided that Benjamin must remain a slave in Egypt because he stole the royal goblet. And Judah puts forth an impassioned plea to the viceroy to please allow Benjamin to go home. And he says, "Our father is elderly," referring to Jacob, and he already tragically lost one of his sons, Joseph. And this is the only remaining son from his wife Rachel, and he cannot survive without the son. He will go down to his grave grieving and mourning because his soul is bound to the soul of the lad. And the question that's asked is, when Judah wants to put forth an argument why the viceroy should release Benjamin, why does he say because he has a father who loves him and cannot live without him? Why doesn't he make a better argument? Benjamin at this point was not a young boy. He was married and he had 10 children. So wouldn't it be better to say this Benjamin has 10 children who could not live without their father? If you keep Benjamin as a slave, 10 children will be orphaned. And the answer is, as the old adage goes, one mother can take care of 10 children, but 10 children can't take care of one mother. Yes, Benjamin has 10 children, but the love of a child is not like the love of a parent. Therefore, the strongest argument is his father's love for him is so great that he could not live without him. And there are 3 reasons amongst many why a parent's love, a mother or father's love for the child is greater than the child's love for the parent. One is because our love to our children in this world is a reflection of God's love, the ultimate parent to us, his children. And since God's love is infinite and our love to God is finite, therefore the love of parents, which is a reflection of that love, is ultimately greater to the child than the child's to the parents. Another reason is because the first human beings, Adam and Eve, didn't have parents, they only had children. And therefore biologically, genetically, love from parents to children preceded love of children to parents. But the third reason is because the word love in Hebrew is ahava. In Hebrew, the word ahava means to give. We often make a mistake and think that love is a byproduct of receiving. The more you give me, the more I love you in return. But the secret of love is that it's just the opposite. It's not how much you get that determines how much you love someone. It's how much you give. The more you give to someone, the more you become connected to that person and the more you love them. And since from the moment the baby is born, parents are giving and doing and sacrificing, therefore their love is so much greater to the child than the child's love could ever be to the parent. Yesterday I saw a very moving video that was going around of a group of chayalim, soldiers, in full army uniform with all the gear, standing in the middle of Gaza. You see the background, all the bombed out buildings, the rubble, the destruction of Gaza. And here are a group of 20, 30 soldiers. And they have a little Torah on the table and they're reading the Monday morning Torah reading. And then they call up one of the soldiers. And after the Torah reading, they give him a blessing to name his newborn daughter. And they bless the mother who has given birth. And then they say, V'yikaresh Shema B'Yisrael, may your daughter's name be called in Israel. And he says to the Chazan, Lil. And he says, Lil. And all the soldiers start going, woo, Lil, Lil. They're clapping, they're celebrating. And they start throwing candies at him, as is the custom to throw candies at the father. And then when he finishes the blessing, they say Amen, and they all start singing Simman Tov or Mazel Tov, and they're singing and celebrating in the middle of Gaza, throwing confetti on top of his head. You look at the scene and you say, the middle of Gaza, naming your child? I mean, this should be done in the synagogue, with the family and friends, with his wife at his side, with balloons, with flowers. And at first, it looks very odd. But then I thought for a moment and I said, this is the ultimate father, the ultimate symbol of fatherhood. Here is a father, he can't be with his wife just gave birth, he can't be there to name his baby in his community. He's doing it in the middle of Gaza because he's making the ultimate statement of love of a parent, saying, my beautiful daughter, I want you to grow up in a world where it's safe, where you could live in Israel without fear of, God forbid, such an attack like October 7th ever happening to you. And therefore I will go to Gaza and risk my life to protect and defend my newborn daughter, because that's what a parent does. That's the love of parents. That's the love of Am Yisrael today, that are sacrificing so much so our children, the next generation, can live in peace and security. Have a wonderful day.